So I got a 2020 International LT. Had a run-in with a deer the other night, so I'm gonna change out. I've bought the pieces. I'm gonna change out the pieces myself. I've had them painted, the outside. I thought it was gonna be a little easier than it looks like it's gonna be. This is the piece, the new piece. So it actually, I thought it was a 3-piece. The brace behind it is a 1-piece. So it looks like that middle part actually comes over and bolts onto here. So I'm gonna have to take out a few more bolts than I thought I was gonna have to, but I think it should still work. Hopefully I can leave this middle piece on there and just remove the bolts on this one side and slide the piece out, but we'll see. So I'll let you know. There's 3. There's this where it bolts on, then there's 2 holes. That looks like the only place it's attached besides all the outer smaller bolts that hold the fascia plate on. So, but I'm soon to find out, and I'll let you guys know. Come up with any little tricks that you could use to make it easier, I'll let you know. So I got the cover off, and these were 10 millimeters. So you need a 10 millimeter socket or wrench, and then there was some, what was it? T30, I believe. Yeah, it was a T30 torque bit. You'll need on the end ones over here. Of course, they got to throw something a little different in there. So yeah, it looks like, I don't know, I'm gonna take that bolt out right there. Looks like I'm gonna take out the bottom ones underneath for the middle piece that are attached to this bracket, and then I'm gonna loosen up these. There's 3 of them, big bolts, and hopefully I can slide it right out, but I'll let you guys know. All right, it looks like to get to those, you need to get the screen off. So I'm going to take the screen off. That's the next step. And I'll be back. Okay, here's where I start cussing. So I'm down here in the middle. These bolts right here are the ones that attach the 2 mounts on either side in the middle. Okay. So these bolts, instead of having the clips in the back, they have nuts. I can't believe this, man. They do this on purpose. I know they do. So it looks like you have to take off the whole front cover. Instead of just having clips to hold this in place, I gotta get to the back of them to take the nuts off. I'm gonna try maybe prying out on them a little bit, putting some pressure on them, but yep, looks like they really are gonna make me work today. So because the middle bolts behind there have nuts on the back of them instead of those clips like that, I've removed, I gotta remove this black piece that the screen was in. So there's a one up here that's kind of tight, but you can get to it. Getting it loose, all the nuts or the bolts on the back, and I'm gonna pop this piece out, and hopefully I can just pry this white piece out enough to get a wrench behind there. So we'll soon find out. Yep, so I just took out that middle frame for the screen. Now I got the whole thing popped out. There's these tabs, be careful not to break them on the back here when you're pulling them out. Just kind of lift it up, pull them out. So now I can get to the nuts that the nuts put behind the bolts. So I should be able to pop this off now. I'll let you know. All right, that was kind of a pain. Probably easier with 2 people, but I was able to reach around, hold one wrench, and turn the other one. And I just noticed there's 1 bolt that's longer. Out of every bolt, they put 1 that I removed that's longer. So either that one's going to get thrown away, or I'm going to have to find a spot that it fits. So yeah, that's me. I wasn't paying attention. I was on a roll. Talk to you later. All right, for these bolts, I didn't have the metric that would fit it, but 3/4, my 3/4 half drive fits it nicely. So all right, the brace is removed. There's one little pin here, so when you're trying to pull it out, make sure you pop the pin off. It's in the middle, and then it just comes right out after you get those bolts and all the little stuff off. Oh, by the way, when I said 3/4 fits, this 3/4 fits, not the one with all the little splines. I don't know what the hell you call them. I'm sure somebody knows. Got the big bolts and nut back on. I'm going to go connect the center part right there. Put those bolts back on and then put the cover on. All right, I got the 4 bolts back in the middle holding the brace together, and I got that piece kind of hung back on there. Put the clips carefully behind the brace again. You know, the ones that this has those clips that you got, the mounting clips, so you got to be careful you don't break those. But so far so good. She's coming back together. So before you get to cranking away on the bolts on the top of the, okay, you got the middle piece here. So the bolts that hold this black piece in are the same bolts that hold this in. So don't do what I did and tighten up these bolts and then have to remove them. It was no super big deal, but yeah, make sure you put the black piece in that the screen goes in before you crank down the bolts on the top of this. So it's coming together nicely. The main thing, the one thing I would have done different is I would have put that black piece in first and then put the bolts that hold it in place in that white piece. But you guys are smarter than me. You probably would have remembered from taking it apart. I'm old and dumb. But it's coming together nice. I'm ready to put the fascia, they call it, on here. So I'll let you know. It should be fairly straightforward. You just put the bolts back in and we're good. I still haven't found out where that long bolt goes, but I don't know. I'll be lighter if I leave it off so I can haul more tonnage, right? All right, so I put this all back on. Now they shorted me a bunch of these clips on the new one. So of course I got it all back on, and I didn't check to make sure the clips were on for the torque bit screws that are on the inside there. So I got to take it all back off because of those so I got to take it back off and put the clips on. But other than that, I would suggest definitely going over the new piece and putting all the clips on before you start the project. And let's see, and I did find that I used all the bolts, so I really think that somebody just grabbed an odd long bolt, I think. But if any of you guys take it apart, or girls take it apart and find where the long bolt goes, please tell me. Thank you.